Rick Rowdy show on domestic violence. We got to teach and not act on stupidity, because the things these idiots think that they can get away with is bizarre. The narcissist with all his foolishness is exposed to the max Rick Rowdy, and his friends is putting it down. The first thing is, you got to learn the 4 rules, and we gon' teach you. Then you need to learn the exit plan, and you can't be scared being the heat.
Leaving a toxic relationship is never easy. Many people feel vulnerable and uncertain about what comes next. I'm Rick Rowdy, here at the Bootleg Broadcasting Company, and I want you to know that you're not alone. If you're starting over, there are 4 rules that can help keep you safe and support your recovery. First, avoid social media. Sharing details online or defending yourself publicly can add stress and expose you to unwanted attention. Protect your privacy and dignity by handling things quietly. Second, don't depend solely on legal protection orders. While they're helpful, they aren't foolproof. Stay alert, trust your instincts, and reach out for support if you sense any risk. Third, always have a plan to get away if you need to. Know where you could go and who you can call. Preparation gives you confidence even when things are uncertain. Lastly, once you leave, don't go back. No matter what others say or how you feel, staying away protects your future and honors your strength. Every step you take is a move towards safety and healing. Remember, these rules are about self-respect and building a brighter future. You deserve peace and a fresh start.
Domestic violence isn't someone else's issue. It could happen to anyone. I'm Rick Rowdy, and today I want to talk about why having an exit plan is essential when leaving a toxic relationship. Many believe calling the police or getting a protection order is enough. Truth is, these steps don't always keep you safe. Relying only on outside help can leave you exposed because systems can fail and abusers often ignore legal warnings. If you notice controlling behavior, threats, or aggression growing, don't wait. Start planning quietly. Identify a safe place to go, collect your important documents, keep a bit of emergency money, and make sure someone you trust knows your plan. The period after leaving is often the riskiest. Preparation matters. Avoid sharing your plans or struggles on social media. Privacy gives you space to move safely, without added pressure or humiliation. You deserve a life free from fear. Never leave without a plan. Take your time, get organized, and protect your steps. Your safety is worth careful planning. Trust yourself, move quietly, and remember, building a safe exit isn't just smart, it's necessary.
Howdy, partners. You're tuning into Eyes You Dumb, Where Even. A 10-gallon hat like mine knows some things ain't right. I'm your host, a puppet with a penchant for polka dots, and Justice here at my shiny news desk. Today's headline: domestic violence. Yep, we're wrangling a tough topic. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't this supposed to be a fun show? It is. But even rodeos have rules, and in real life, nobody deserves to get hurt at. Home, not in the heart, not in the mind, and definitely not with a frying pan. Picture, this little Susie's at school. Cowboy boots shined, but she flinches when someone raises their voice. Or Mr. Carl next. Door he stops chatting, always looking over his shoulder like there's a snake in his boots. These are signs. Wrong, even if you never see a bruise. Here's the thing. Friend silence might keep a secret, but kindness cracks it wide open. Lending an ear, sharing a smile, or just saying, I'm here. If you need me, can help someone break free from their invisible lasso. There's a whole posse out there, friends, hotlines, counselors ready to ride to the rescue. No one has to face this alone. Safe. Homes shouldn't be rare as a snowstorm in July. Thanks for saddling up with me on Is You Dumb. Let's use our big old puppet hearts and speak up for each other, because a little courage and care can turn anyone's story around. Yeehaw, and see you next time.
Welcome to Is You Dumb, the show where we talk about choices and the mess people make when they don't stop to think. Every day I see how anger can cloud the mind and lead to heartbreak nobody can undo. Sometimes the simplest decisions become the biggest mistakes, and there's no way to take them back. Let me tell you a story that's as real as it is tragic. A young man, furious and out of control, decides to take revenge. He puts on a wig, dresses up like a woman, and goes to the hospital where his girlfriend works. He walks in, head down, and before anyone can react, he shoots her. No words, no warning, just cold-blooded violence. Afterwards, he runs, thinking his disguise will save him. But the truth always comes out. Now he's not just lost his girlfriend, he's lost his future too. All that anger, all that pain, and now he'll spend the rest of his life locked away, replaying that moment over and over. How do you go from love to murder? What goes through someone's mind that makes them believe violence fixes anything? One moment of stupidity, now two families are left torn apart. That's why we need to pause, breathe, and think before we act. The consequences last forever, and sometimes forgiveness never comes. Welcome back to Is You Dumb? You Got to Be Dumb. I'm Rick Rowdy, and right now, this newsroom's hotter than a frying pan at midday. Today's story? Domestic violence dragged out from behind closed doors and paraded across social media like it's a talent show nobody signed up for. Used to be, folks kept their business private, handled their struggles in the home or with help. Now every heated argument, every threat, every moment of rage is broadcast live on platforms for all to see. Some people spilling their secrets, others recording confrontations like they're auditioning for a role in a tragedy. Social media doesn't just amplify drama, it fuels it. The more views, the more likes, the more the situation spirals out of control. I've seen cases where a fight starts in the kitchen and ends with police at the door, all while strangers comment and share, turning real pain into viral entertainment. People are losing their lives while perpetrators seem to think a phone in hand means no consequences. It's cowardly committing violence, running, and hoping a digital trail somehow vanishes. Deep down, they know it won't. Tragedy plays out for everyone, and the accused is left with nowhere to hide. Social media ought to connect us, maybe even help. But when it becomes a stage for destruction, all it does is amplify misery and spread pain farther than ever before. If you're facing hardship, reach out for help, not for likes. Don't let your worst moments become public spectacle. This is Rick Rowdy reminding you, act with care, act with sense. Someone's life may depend on it.
Social media got these fools losing their minds. They think they on TV, and they can show everybody how bad they are, but actually they show what kind of cowards they are, and they never think because they are too busy showing off.
People often do dumb things without thinking about the consequences. On Is You Dumb? We look at a case that highlights just how reckless decisions can destroy lives. A man, let's call him the idiot, invited his ex-girlfriend, a mother of three, over to his house. After she arrived, he took her car and parked it around the corner. Instead of facing reality, he picked up his phone and asked Google for the fastest way to Flint, Michigan, how to fool a lie detector, and how to clean up blood so it wouldn't be found. His actions didn't just hurt her, they left 3 children without their mother and shattered a whole family. If you harm someone, what does love mean? Now he'll spend his life in prison, leaving pain behind for everyone. Every reckless act leaves scars, and sometimes those scars last forever. We all have to think before it's too late. People do dumb things without thinking about the consequences. This is hard to believe, but I can't make this up. Stupidity is taking over these minds. Let's look at one family's home. The husband, once loving, now spends his days barking insults and treating his wife like she doesn't matter. She walks on eggshells, her laughter gone, her eyes dim. At night, she lies awake, listening to angry footsteps in the hall. After another argument, she finally gathers her strength.
I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving. Please, let me go.
Their son, hiding behind the staircase, squeezes his faded toy, wishing for quiet. 2 weeks pass. The wife returns only to pack her belongings. Tension fills the air. The son clings to his mother, afraid to let go. The husband, shame and fear twisting inside, lashes out. In a moment of violence, he ends her life in front of their child. The son's screams echo, a sound neighbors never forget. The family is broken. The husband lost any hope of forgiveness. His son left with scars no child should carry. Violence leaves no room for love, no path to reconciliation. Ask yourself, if you truly cared, would you destroy what you claim to love? Is you dumb? Think before anger takes what can never be returned. Monitors glow across the room. Rick Rowdy sits poised at the desk, black cowboy hat low over his thoughtful eyes. Green shirt neat, blue jeans crisp. A red light blinks, breaking news arrives.
Today's story uncovers the reality of narcissistic abuse. In many relationships, manipulation and control leave silent scars. Red flags appear as relentless self-focus, a lack of empathy, and a hunger for praise. Often, manipulation goes further. Gaslighting, distorting facts, twisting words, shifting blame can make victims question their own reality. Trapped in cycles of confusion, many feel isolated and blamed. Recognizing these patterns is vital. When someone consistently rewrites what happened or undermines your memories, gaslighting may be present. Sudden affection, followed by criticism or cold withdrawal, causes instability. Leaving an abusive situation is challenging. Safety and support are crucial. Careful planning and professional guidance can make all the difference. Healing starts with understanding manipulation and reclaiming self-worth. Set boundaries, connect with support, and refuse misplaced blame. Everyone deserves respect and genuine love. With knowledge and courage, freedom and healing are within reach. Here in the newsroom, we stand with you as you build a safer future. Howdy, folks. Rick Rowdy here, your Detroit Lions cowboy, with a message that can protect lives. Let's talk about warning signs in relationships. Imagine a woman at a casino. She meets a man who says he's on probation for defending his sister. He seems brave and caring. She lets her guard down, believing she's found someone trustworthy. Early on, things feel good. But soon, he gets jealous when she greets friends. He blames her for attracting attention. He claims it's love, but real love doesn't accuse. Jealousy and control are not affection, they're warnings. Money becomes a problem. He loses his job, keeps gambling, and starts using her money. She tries to help, but ends up losing her car and apartment. With nowhere else to go, she moves in, hoping things will improve. Living together, his control tightens. He shouts, breaks things, sometimes apologizes, sometimes doesn't. Substance abuse and talk of suicide appear. Signs like jealousy, control, financial abuse, escalating anger, and substance use all signal danger. Each one is a reason to reconsider the relationship. Friends, take these signs seriously. Don't ignore them or hope things will change on their own. Your safety is most important. Trust your instincts and leave if you see danger.
Inside the bustling studio of the Bootleg Broadcasting Company, Rick Rowdy adjusts his cowboy hat and gathers his puppet team. Today, they're tackling a topic that's often hidden behind closed doors: domestic violence.
In every relationship, folks show their best faces at the start. But when the shine fades and real tempers flare, disappointment creeps in. That's when the trouble begins. Some people realize the person they're with isn't who they thought.
When someone tries to leave, the person who feels control slipping away starts to panic.
Men, especially those who look strong on the outside, sometimes let fear take over. Ego shakes, and instead of talking, they reach for things that make them feel powerful. Knives, fists, even words become weapons.
It's not about strength, it's about insecurity. When you're scared of losing control, you lose your mind instead.
That's how violence erupts. Acts that leave scars, sometimes you can see, sometimes you can't. Afterward, the same men run, not brave enough to face what they've done. The consequences catch up, but regret can't undo the harm.
Domestic violence is never justified. It's a sign of insecurity, not strength. Rick and his team urge everyone true courage means stepping away from violence, seeking help, and building relationships on respect, not control.
Narcissistic begin by idealizing you, making you feel seen, valued, even adored. But once they believe they've secured your loyalty, the mask slips. The same love they pulled from you is now twisted and weaponized. They criticize you, guilt you, belittle you, and confuse you, all while playing the victim. The more you give, the more they take, until there's nothing left but self-doubt and exhaustion. What if I told you that the most dangerous place isn't a dark alley, but your own home? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on domestic violence.
Every day I sit here and shake my head. Folks out there, especially the young ones, running wild and not thinking about what comes next. It's like common sense got up and walked out the door, and nobody even noticed. Tell me, is you dumb? Or does the world just move too fast for you to care? The current generation is wandering without any real guide. Parents try to talk, but it's like talking to a brick wall. Advice bounces off, and all they hear is the next notification ping. Instead, some choose to get high marijuana, ecstasy pills, Percocets, you name it. For them, the higher the risk, the bigger the thrill. Social media has taken the teacher's chair. Lessons learned? If it's trending, it must be true. They disrespect school, skip work, and shrug off responsibilities. Why work hard when online fame promises shortcuts? Home values fade as screens fill their minds with noise. Violence climbs higher each day. Youngsters act before they think, ready to throw punches or worse. The motto seems to be, do it first, worry later. After making a dumb move, they run like shadows, hoping nobody catches up, but the truth always does. This cycle of reckless choices leaves scars. Some end up in trouble that sticks for life. Others lose friends, family, or futures. The cost is real, and no amount of likes can buy it back. So I ask, what will it take for folks to wake up? Respect isn't old-fashioned, and good sense isn't out of style. Change begins with one person choosing better. The world needs it, and so do we. Welcome back to Is You Dumb? You Gotta Be Dumb. I'm Rick Rowdy, sitting here in the Bootleg Broadcasting Company newsroom, black cowboy hat on, chaos swirling all around. But today I want to talk straight about this madness I keep hearing. Why do some folks believe that being in a relationship means they own somebody? That's not love, that's control, and it's dangerous. Now let's be real. If someone falls out of love with you, that's painful. But what makes a person think they have the right to hurt, threaten, or even kill just because their feelings aren't returned? That's not about love, it's about ego, about not wanting to let go. If a person wants to leave, you gotta let them. Holding on by force or anger only brings more pain for everyone. Rejection isn't the end of the world. It's a chance to look at yourself, find where you went wrong, and work on being better. Nobody should fear for their life just because they want out of a relationship. If someone leaves, respect their choice. Don't cling to the past or try to make them stay. Fix what's broken in yourself. If you were truly the right one for them, they wouldn't have left. Respect goes both ways. Loving someone means letting them go if they want to go. Take time, heal, and grow. Don't be dumb. Be better. Welcome back to Is You Dumb? You Gotta Be Dumb. I'm Rick Rowdy, and tonight we're unpacking a tragedy born from ambition, denial, and ignored warning signs. This story belongs to a gifted woman, a master's graduate, entrepreneur, and motivational speaker. She built her future with determination, always believing she could inspire change in others. When she met her boyfriend, a convicted felon with a violent history, she saw potential where others saw danger. Friends warned her after seeing his temper flare in public, but she dismissed their concerns, convinced love and patience would lead to healing. Instead, the past resurfaced. 4 days, 3 lives lost. The man responsible bragged about his actions, showing no regret. He spoke of the electric chair, focused solely on his fate, never the devastation he caused. Missed signals and misplaced hope led to tragedy. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. If a person keeps hurting people, refuses to change, and treats others as disposable, believing you can rescue them risks your own life. Let this painful story remind us all recognize when someone's darkness is more than you can heal. Protect yourself and those you care about because ignoring danger can cost everything. This is Rick Rowdy. Until next time, stay sharp, don't be dumb.
Whatever you do, don't believe that you can make someone better, because you can't. And my advice is, don't try to make something out of nothing, because it will never work. Not only is it a waste of time, but it may be the most dangerous thing that you have tried. Domestic violence isn't strength, it's insecurity. Understanding the roots of abuse and the importance of seeking help from love to tragedy, how anger and reckless choices lead to irreversible consequences in domestic violence, recognizing red flags, warning signs, understanding narcissistic abuse and manipulation is crucial for anyone navigating a difficult relationship. The Rick Rowdy Show delves into the tactics used by narcissists, such as gaslighting, relentless self-focus, lack of empathy, and a constant need for praise. Victims often find themselves doubting their own memories and questioning their reality as abusers twist facts and shift blame. This psychological warfare can leave individuals feeling isolated, confused, and powerless. The show provides practical advice on recognizing these patterns, setting firm boundaries, and seeking professional guidance. Healing begins with reclaiming self-worth and connecting with supportive networks. It's important to remember that everyone deserves respect, love, and safety. Escaping narcissistic abuse requires knowledge, courage, and a solid plan for moving forward.
Welcome to Is You Dumb? I'm Rick Rowdy, here in the newsroom, and today we're diving into how acting without thinking can shatter lives. Emotional stupidity is more common than folks admit, and the results can be tragic. Picture this: one boyfriend, suspicious and insecure, installs a GPS tracker on his girlfriend's car. Instead of talking things out, he chooses to spy. All the while, anger and jealousy brew in his mind. He follows her to a motel, sees her meet another man. Hurt turns into rage. There's no pause, no second thought. His feelings run wild and drown out reason. In that heated moment, he reacts violently. 2 innocent lives are ended, and there's no turning back. The consequences are instant and permanent. Before police catch him, he visits his kids at school, says goodbye. That's his new reality his family left behind, broken by one reckless decision. Was it worth it? Short-sighted anger destroyed everything. Nobody escapes unharmed when violence takes over. So next time you're tempted to act on impulse, stop and think. Your actions shape not just your future, but the futures of those around you. Ask yourself, if you wind up on this show, is you dumb? Take control, choose wisely, and protect what really matters in your life. Good evening, y'all. Rick Rowdy here, bringing you a story that reminds us just how far the consequences of our choices can reach. Tonight, we look at the case of a man who, after his relationship ended, turned to robbing people instead of seeking honest work and self-improvement. He was caught, tried, and sentenced 10 years in prison, a full decade lost to a single destructive decision. 10 years is a long stretch. Life moves on whether you're ready or not. When he finally walked free, this man believed he could reclaim his past, expecting his former partner to be waiting. The reality was different. She had moved forward, built a new life, and found another partner. Her children had grown older, living in a changed home. Some choices closed doors forever. He struggled to accept what had changed. Just 10 days later, anger and resentment brought him back, this time armed. In a moment of rage, he shot the mother in front of her children, leaving deep scars and heartbreak that can't be mended. Bad decisions don't just haunt the person who makes them. They ripple out, hurting families, children, and communities. Those kids now carry wounds where trust and hope should have been. The man faces a life behind bars. His chance is gone. So let's remember, every choice matters. Starting over is hard, but facing the damage you cause can be even harder. If you want a future, build it on wisdom, responsibility, and the strength to leave your past behind. Welcome back to another episode of Is You Dumb? You Gotta Be Dumb. I'm your host, Rick Rowdy, rocking this black and white cowboy hat and ready to serve truth straight, no chaser. Tonight, we dive into a tragedy that's become all too common in the digital age. Social media is supposed to connect us, right? But it's turned into a playground for deception. Our story begins with a young dad, hard worker, loving father. All he wanted was a little excitement, a late-night date. It started simple, a DM on Instagram, a few laughs, plans to meet. He trusted who he was talking to. Thought he found a friend, maybe more. But when he showed up that night, the person he met wasn't who they claimed to be. Betrayal runs cold, and the trap was set before he even knew he was in danger. This young dad lost his life, not in some faraway land, but right here because of misplaced trust, because a stranger online wore the mask of a friend. The pain ripples through his family, his child, his community. Social media is full of vipers, folks, who smile in your face and plot behind your back. We live in a world where lies scroll by as easy as a finger swipe. Don't let loneliness or charm blind your judgment. Be a leader. Don't follow the crowd off the cliff. Recognize real from fake. Protect your heart and your life by demanding the truth from those who claim to be your friend. This is Rick Rowdy, telling you, stay sharp, stay safe, and never forget your life is worth more than a like. Welcome to Is You Dumb? I'm Rick Rowdy. Tonight, we look at how reckless choices destroy families. Too often, people act in anger, never thinking about what comes after. Here's a scenario. A husband, once loving, now treats his wife with nothing but disrespect. He shouts, insults, and hits her, forgetting kindness. The wife, tired and wounded, finally decides to leave. She tells him she's done. She wants peace for herself and her son. 2 weeks pass. The wife returns to collect her things. The son stands in the hallway, silent and afraid. The husband, desperate and furious at her leaving, lets rage take over. He grabs a knife and, in front of his son, kills her. With that act, he destroys everything. The son loses his mother and his father in one moment, one to death, one to prison. Love cannot live where violence rules. If you loved her, how could you end her life? Think before you act. Don't let anger decide the future for your family. Use your mind. Don't be foolish. Is you dumb?
Children who witness violence at home may develop anxiety, depression, or behavioral issues, carrying these wounds into adulthood. The show highlights heartbreaking cases where unchecked anger and impulsive decisions lead to irreversible tragedy, destroying lives and futures. I didn't want that, but something made me, so I got to talk about it because it's happening. I standing there minding my own business when a woman dress up like a man, trying to be a man instead of a woman, talking all loud at me. I am trying to tell her to stay in her lane, but she ain't listening. I didn't want that. I told her I would whoop her ass like a man. Stop playing with me. That what's happening nowadays, things have changed. The world is moving so fast, I can't keep up. But I don't judge nobody about their sexuality. I am just no going to try that same sex thing.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and alphabet people. This is You Dumb? You Gotta Be Dumb. I'm Rick Rowdy, still waiting for the world to make sense. But tonight, I'm not holding my breath. Let me paint the scene. We got folks out here more worried about somebody else's business than their own. You see a man smile at another man, and suddenly everybody's a detective, acting like they got a badge for the Bedroom Bureau of Investigation. Meet our star undercover brother. He wanted to explore who he was quiet, hidden. He only wanted a taste of freedom, but only if nobody ever found out. Living in fear, hiding every move, always checking over his shoulder. Party whispers grow. Undercover brother's face tightens, anxiety simmers. Now you'd think in a world this loud, folks would mind their own. But the minute rumors started, he felt trapped, couldn't breathe. Instead of reaching for a hand, he reached for a gun. The party turned to panic. Lives lost, all because the weight of judgment was heavier than the truth he carried. This is what hate and shame do. People break, secrets kill, all y'all judging from the sidelines. What's it for? You make it harder for people to just live. Nobody wins when fear chokes the room. Acceptance, it's free. Try handing that out instead. So next time you feel like judging, ask yourself, is you dumb or is you just afraid of letting folks be? Love ain't the enemy, fear is. Let people be who they are. This is Rick Rowdy, signing off, hoping you wise up before the next tragedy makes the news. Welcome y'all to another episode of Is You Dumb, where the news is wild and the sense is rare. I'm Rick Rowdy, and today I see folks out there flapping their gums, busy judging people for loving who they love. Let's get one thing straight, ain't none of us perfect. And sure as sunrise, none of us got the right to decide another person's worth by their sexuality. Now let me tell you about Undercover Brother. Grew up in a world that told him, don't you dare be yourself. So he kept his truth locked up tight, tried to walk the cowboy line, boots polished, smile fixed. All the while, he just wanted to blend in. But secrets got weight, and some folks try to carry him too long.
If they find out, I'm done. I just want to have a good time, not be a headline. Why can't everybody just hush and let me be?
But it don't work that way. Truth has a way of showing up, even when you're two-stepping in the shadows. When the community celebrated loud and proud, Undercover Brother panicked. That fear twisted up into rage, and he lashed out, turning celebration into tragedy, all because acceptance, real acceptance, was missing, both from him and the world around him. It didn't have to be that way. Nobody should be judged, pushed, or shamed for who they are. Hiding only leads to hurt. In judging well, that's just plain dumb. So let's cut the nonsense. Show some compassion. Let folks be. This is Rick Rowdy signing off, reminding you, if you're busy judging, maybe look in the mirror and ask yourself, is you dumb? Yet the truth holds no one should be condemned for who they love. Each day at Bootleg Broadcasting Company, rumors and suspicions stir the chaos. Tonight, we follow Undercover Brother. Party lights strobe, music pounds, laughter ricochets. He moves through the crowd, smile tense, hands trembling. Every glance feels loaded, each joke sharp as a blade. A friend approaches, voice muted. You okay? Undercover Brother nods, eyes darting, seeking a safe corner. Whispers grow, shame swells, fear presses in. As the pressure mounts, the room closes in an outburst. A push. Violence spilling out where silent pain had built. Suddenly, celebration turns to tragedy. Fear and judgment fracture lives. Secrecy turns hearts against themselves, leaving wounds unseen. Acceptance is the answer, compassion the cure. The battle may be chosen for us, but how we treat one another remains our choice. When understanding guides us, the madness fades.
The only thing that mess up my mind is a man have a nice beard and goatee, then start talking like a girl. Okay, which one you want to be? Because you got me all confused. My mind won't stop laughing, but I don't care about what you like. Just don't put it out there all wrong.
Out here on the open range, you learn real quick pretending don't get you far. I see folks wearing masks, putting on a show, hoping that'll win them some love. But the dust settles and truth always finds a way. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're carrying anger. Maybe you think acting out or trying to force love is the only way folks will see you. I've tried it myself once, back when I was searching for a place to belong. All it brought was emptiness. Who you fooling? Is it them or is it you? When you put on a show, you start believing it. That's dangerous, partner. You lose sight of who you are. And when you lose yourself, real love slips through your fingers like water. It takes courage to be honest, to stand tall and say, this is me, no act, no mask. You want lasting respect, genuine love? Stop pushing for it. Don't act out just to fill a hollow spot inside. Be real even when it's hard. Every step you take, every word you speak, it counts. Sooner or later, you answer for it. Can you look yourself in the eye when the dust clears? Quit pretending. Step out as your true self. That's how you find love that sticks and respect that lasts. The world's waiting for someone real enough to show up, just the way they are.